Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before, and if you're new here, please subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. My name's Kira and all I talk about here is business, career and finance for women, and I hope today's video will really help you guys who are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, particularly during quarantine, and will help you actually start it and give you some tips and tricks on how to be as productive as possible in both YouTube and your normal day job, and help you to start that side hustle that you've been thinking of for a while. So I've been doing YouTube for about 1 to 2 months now, and I have found it a little bit difficult to balance uploading, editing, getting things on YouTube, you know, like the description box, the tags, everything, while also working 40 plus hours a week in Google in people operations. So I want both to go well. I don't want to drop either. I want to make sure that I can do both equally as well as the other, and I think that other people are probably in the same boat as me, because really YouTube for me right now is just something fun that I do in my spare time and I love it. It's so fun, but it does take a lot of work and effort, and you do need to be able to commit to it, and you know, without letting it also impact your potential full-time income, your normal day job and things like that. So let's just get straight into it. I have about 8 tips that I want to share with you on how you can also start your side hustle in YouTube and start your channel even though you're working 40 plus hours a week in whatever industry you're working in. It's totally doable. You've got it. If I can do it, you can do it. So the very first tip that I would give is that you need to become an absolutely incredible planner. You need to plan every single aspect of your video before you ever sit in front of your camera. So I'm talking, you need to know your title. You need to know if it's a good keyword to use before you ever sit down. You need to know what problem you're solving for your audience, whether that's entertaining them because they're bored or because you want to give them information, for example, on how to manage a full-time job and a YouTube channel. You know, my description is already planned out. I know what props I need. I know what my background is going to look like, what way I'm going to be sitting. I know if I need more people in it, like who, they all know what they're going to be doing. Everything from beginning to end is already planned out before I ever start. So one way that I manage this is because I use my own YouTube plan guide, which I actually sell on Etsy. I'll leave a link down to it below and give it to you guys who are watching this video for absolutely free, because I want you guys to be able to do this too. But planning is amazing, and it really has sped me up so much in terms of how long it takes me to film, how long it takes me to edit, and overall just the upload in general to YouTube has become so much easier. I don't need to, you know, mess around with keywords. I don't need to start changing my titles and things. I know what I'm going to be talking about before I ever even start. I know what everything is going to be, and that's just helped me enormously. So I would say tip number 1, and probably the most impactful if you're working a full-time job and doing YouTube, is planning. It's really helped me, I swear. So the next tip I'm going to give you is to do a one-shot take wherever you can. So a one-shot take means that you don't stop talking until the end of the scene. You're going to break your content down into scenes, and you're going to rehearse your lines or your key points, and you're going to repeat yourself over and over and over again until you get it right for that scene. That means that you're going to be editing less, you are going to be kind of bringing in natural pauses, and everything will flow much nicer. You won't have jump cuts, your editing won't be super scratchy or anything like that. You're just flow, talking, and people don't mind if you do the odd or whatever, but it does make a big difference in terms of your editing time. It makes your content flow a lot more easily and basically gets your audience their information a lot faster. So when I'm doing a one-shot take, I might make 1 or 2 edits between shots, but overall I try and get the whole sentence and the whole scene essentially all said in one go, so that I can basically just make more sense and also spend less time on editing. So my third tip, if you are someone who's working 9 to 5 and also starting a YouTube channel, is to bulk film. Now, some people love this, some people hate this. I personally am not a huge fan of bulk filming because it basically just makes me a little bit tired. I feel like I'm not my best by the 3rd video, and I've often kind of done things like, you know, filmed 4 videos but not been able to use the last one because I'm just not energetic. It's not good work. I don't even make sense at that stage. But what I would say is try to film at least 2. If you can push yourself to 3 with it still being good content, do it on the day that you film. So if you've already done your makeup, you know, you've set up your lights, you've set up your camera, everything is good to go, your camera has battery, that takes a lot of work in and of itself, and especially on your Saturday where you just want to relax and chill. If you've done all this work anyway, why would you not just try and get a few more in to try and, firstly, you could just increase your upload schedule. So rather than doing 1 a week, you could be uploading 2, or it means that you have next Saturday off if you're just going to do 1 video for the moment. So I would definitely say if you are looking to start a YouTube channel while you're working, think about bulk uploading or bulk filming more so, and then scheduling those to a timeline that suits you. It just means that you have a lot more free time, and while you're already doing it, you might as well just get a few more out. So the 4th tip that I want to share with you guys is thumbnails. So a lot of people will say that you need to kind of set up your camera and take really great photos of yourself, like kind of still shots that are super professional looking, and then that will help your thumbnail and your click-through rate. Yes, it would be amazing if I had time to also do professional photos for myself for every single thumbnail, but that's just not a reality. So what I do is essentially at the beginning of the video, I will just pause, like I will naturally pause. So like right now I could just go or, and basically one of those is probably going to be my thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is just click on iMovie and just basically you just put the cursor over it, and then up here in the corner you're going to click send or share or something like that, one of those buttons, and it's going to help you to just take that screenshot, and that's going to be your thumbnail. It just saves you a little bit of time, and it's so easy as long as you can remember to just pause, and then that's your thumbnail, which really helps. And it may not be like the most amazing quality, but at the same time you can do so much with things like Canva and everything like that, that you can still make it a really great thumbnail without it being a professional shot that you need to take for every single video. That's just, for me, it adds on potentially hours of work, and it's just not something that I can do right now while I'm also working. So tip number 5 that I want to share is another one that's a little bit obvious but actually really underrated, is just time management. So if you're going to start this YouTube thing and you really want it to be a side hustle and you really want it to actually generate some income for you in the future, you need to commit to it. The first one is filming. You need to decide, are you going to film in the morning or evening? Are you going to pick a particular day on the weekend, for example Saturdays? You need to make sure you show up every single week to be able to do that, or whatever your schedule looks like, but commit to it. Make sure you make the time and don't mess around with it. You know, if you have to make a decision every single time on whether you're going to do it or whether you're not, it's going to lead to fatigue. Just do it, put it in your calendar, and don't give yourself the option of not doing it. It is happening this week. It will happen every week. You will be tired. You won't want to do it some days. You'll want your Saturday, and you will have to make sacrifices, which is the next point, but it's going to be worth it. So that leads quite nicely into our 6th tip, which is sacrifice. So in order to run a YouTube channel and have a 9-to-5 job, you're going to have to sacrifice some stuff. So you're not going to be able to make it to every party. You're not going to be able to make it to every brunch with your friends. You're not going to be able to live the life that you used to live when you weren't managing a YouTube channel. You have to commit. And this is the hard part. When you're building up to that first 1,000 subscribers, you need to stay committed, you need to stay focused, and you need to be giving it 50% of your time, and to your job 50% of your time. You know, it takes a while, and it takes a lot of energy, and you're not going to be able to do everything that you did before. Leading on from tip number 6, where you will need to make sacrifices, you also need to surround yourself with really supportive people. So when you are starting a YouTube channel, a lot of people don't tell anyone what they're doing, and it just turns into something that becomes this big secret until someone finds you out, whatever. Really what you need to be doing is telling people, so that when you do have to sacrifice, you do have to miss a brunch, or you do have to do something like that, that really, you know, they wouldn't understand unless you were able to tell them, I'm so sorry, I actually need to film today and I won't make it. I can never do any Saturday, so let's meet up on Thursday evenings instead, or something like that, because Saturday is my filming day. So you need people who understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, that support you, that won't make you feel bad for missing their stuff, because they know how important this is to you and they support you 100%. And so my very last tip, which is probably the toughest one, is to have grit. Angela Duckworth basically has a book called Grit that is super interesting. I'd really recommend reading it. But grit means that when the going gets tough, you don't quit. You keep going and you persevere. You need to make it past all the people who started YouTube in quarantine. You need to keep going past when it gets tough, when you get tired. If you have that mindset while you're doing work, and you have to work late, you have to work overtime, you have to work on weekends, you still have to have YouTube up there as your #1 priority. Even if work is still #1 priority, you need to have a joint #1 priority, because otherwise, like, this thing won't work. You need to be committed, and grit is probably the most underrated thing in this space, because so many people are uploading random acts of content, basically, or random videos of content, and they're just sporadically posting whatever they want. You need to be focused, you need to be consistent, and you need to have grit. So I really hope that these 8 tips will help you to not only just start your YouTube channel, but if you already have one or you have any side hustle, that these tips and tricks will help you to be more productive, more time efficient, manage things better, and overall be able to do both really well. So to have your career and have your YouTube channel and basically smash it at both. That's what you need to be doing. So as I mentioned, I will leave the YouTube plan down below. It will be linked to my Etsy shop, but I'll be giving you a code for a free copy of it. Please leave a good review if you like it, and if you use it, I would really appreciate that. It would help me on my Etsy store. And also, please leave a comment below if you have any tips or tricks on how to manage your side hustle plus your full-time job. It really would be so interesting to hear about anything that you have learned over your time doing it, or if you have any experience of when it hasn't been balanced and what's happened. It would be so great for the community to be able to hear those kind of things. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this to the end, and could you please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye.